Welcome back to iShine Connect.
Confirm something for the television audience. We actually know each other.
Yes.
You know,
for many years.
So, okay.
Like, well,
So, you know, and
Too well.
yeah.
we're actually friends.
and we actually like have. This isn't the only time we see each other, right? Just sitting. Okay.
Yeah.
So we've had a dinner or two. We've been a few places together. I'm making a point, but if you would just confirm that point.
We have.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. I actually can confirm that you are a super easygoing guy. You know, I've seen you intense one or two times. Okay, one or two times. I've seen you intense. And you know what that was about? About someone saying something to you that you need to change your message.
Yeah.
You are about what you're really talking about, and that's in you. And doesn't matter who picks on you in regard to that. You're not changing, are you? This is your thing. This is really you. More than even maybe you behind your own pulpit.
Yeah, it's exactly right, Matt. And I feel like I'm nice and I'm easygoing, but I am passionate and I am firm about what I believe God's called me to do. And I think like you guys and Victoria too, I'm sure people try to put you into their molds, and I've had some well-known people that are trying to join you to do this.
Some names that would make the ratings go up a little.
They're good people, they're good friends, but you know, I just feel firm about, you know, you gotta be who God's created you to be, and I felt strong, you know, through these years. And then once you get some influence, you get more pressure sometimes for, you know, use it for this or that, but I don't know, I'm always respectful and I always take advice and listen to wise counsel, but you know, I have had some times where people wanted to really push me into a mold, and I'm very firm back with them in a nice way, but you know what? You have to fight for your destiny, and you have to fight to become who you were created to be. And you know, I get hit from both sides, from the conservative and from this other side, but you know what? I'd rather be, you know, who God created me to be, because ultimately we give an account toward God, to God. And again, I've said before, I get up each morning and search my own heart, say, God, am I on course? Am I doing what you want me to do? Or is Yankee for my ego? Or just because, but you know what? I come back and say, you know what, God, it's to bring people hope. It's to lift people's spirits and to bring encouragement, you know? So I do feel passionate about that, because you know what? It's the destiny God's laid out for each one of us. And I would just encourage you, like I said, I say fight for your destiny, or be strong in what you believe for and who God's created you to be, because I've learned, you know, other people can't hear what God's spoken to you. They don't feel what you feel. God put it in you, and it's really not their fault that they can't hear it, because God put it in you. But I would just say it would be my fault or your fault if we let somebody convince us to, you know, to become something that we weren't created to be.
You know, I was going to say this. It really takes a lot of discipline. First off, it takes a real knowing and checking in with God, but it takes a lot of discipline to stay focused, because there's a lot of people I know that are out there doing things, and you look over there and you think, well, maybe I should do that, or oh, everybody's getting, you know, 5 theaters. They're opening 16 campuses. You know, so I mean, there's a lot of distractions out there, and I just know that Joel has always said, you know what, I'm going to continue to do what God's called me to do until he changes my direction. And I love the fact that one morning he got up and we were offered all these theaters to have simulcast church in. And he, you know, he thought about it, of course, prayed about it. And then he said, that's not what I'm called to do. And he said, I really feel called to get people who are watching me all over the country into local churches. I'm a local pastor. I want them to disciple them. And so as a result of that, we've gotten a lot of churches, you know, together with a lot of pastors, and just said, hey, we want to feed these people into your churches. And that's which is very disciplined to me, because you can get caught up in the bigness of different things. And so I appreciate that about Joel, that he is steadfast in what he believes he's supposed to do.
We're here with Mr. Lon Trost. And Lon, I met you back in 2009 when we first came, and you were so gracious to open the stadium for us. And we just appreciate you letting us be back here again in 2022. And I love the fact that you helped design this building. You know, I came when the old building was being torn down, but you took me through this one. But this is a beautiful design.
Well, what we really tried to do is reflect what we had, bring all the history back here, and imitate that which we had then and go back to 1923. So certain things picked up both. So the section numbers, for instance, go back to 23.
Wow.
And things of that nature.
Wow. And how was it through the pandemic and all coming off of that? That was difficult for baseball and just the Yankee organization?
It was difficult for the whole world. And we tried to do as much as we can. Baseball and all sports and the fans, we went through it. Then slowly but surely, everybody's coming back.
Yeah.
And hopefully we're back to some type of normalcy.
And y'all don't talk about it a whole lot, but y'all do a lot of great things in the community, helping families. And
We have a whole department. Brian Smith and his department work in the community, work with the churches, the people, everyone around to make certain that we can do as much as we can during Christmas, during Thanksgiving, during the year in general.
yeah, that's so important.
You know, I love that legacy that Mr. Steinbrenner left to his family and also to the fans, because when they come to the stadium, they sense that excellence and they sense that integrity. I believe that. What have you seen through all these years, you know, that has maybe changed or gotten better, or that you've seen the influence, you know, really come alive in the stadium?
The importance of the stadium to the community.
Okay.
Even where we're located, this area was a field, but it wasn't as good as it could have been. We built here, and where the old stadium was, we built that up. They have a tremendous baseball field, a baseball diamond, and a place for football and soccer. So we're trying to maintain that within the entire neighborhood.
That's an amazing area over there. Like, we were able to see the old stadium, but to see what y'all have done and developed it for the community is incredible.
And as I said, Brian Smith and his department go from school to school, from church to church, and make certain that we're part of the community.
That's so beautiful. Can I ask you about these two things on your, these two big rocks on there? 2 World Series rings, right?
This is the last one we won, and this one is when we beat a team that's somewhat local. So I figured I'd always wear that one.
So how many of those do you
I
have?
think I have 7.
7.
Wow.
That's nice. Does your wife ever wear one?
She has a pendant that matches, so she can
I
wear that.
like it.
You didn't tell me, did I ask you how long have you been here at the Yankees?
Well, I started representing the Steinbrenner family as their attorney, so 47 years.
Wow.
But that's a little bit not right, because in 1968 or 63, I don't remember, I was selling concessions up in the left field stands.
Wow. Amazing.
You know, that just goes to show you your faithfulness, your dedication, your determination. You know, because there are people who would be selling concessions and they wouldn't be satisfied. They wouldn't have the vision to see themselves expand and go on. What would you say to someone like that?
You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And in fairness, I was as lucky as anybody could be. I worked for a gentleman named Bill Shea. It was a law firm. In fact, he was the one they named Shea Stadium after.
Wow.
And he was responsible for bringing the Mets into New York.
Wow.
And it just progressed into a situation where I'm now here.
It's amazing. All these years. Tell me again, how long have you been married to your wife? We were talking off camera.
We met at 2 o'clock on February 17th, 1961.
Wow.
But we didn't get married then.
No, not just
You met, but that
And
first
we
meeting
were together
was,
since then.
Where'd you meet?
We met, my sister brought her up. It was a friend of my sister's. Brought her up, and I met her in my kitchen in my parents' house.
Wow. One thing that tells me about you is your character. Working here 40-something years. You've been married almost 60 years, I think, if something like that.
61.
But anyway, that's an amazing thing. Well, thank you for welcoming us and your staff and everybody so kind. And I believe it's going to be a great night.
I'm certain it will, and hopefully we'll have weather like this.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's and I'm certain the facility, the stadium, the cathedral, the way you want it, will be packed.
I believe that. We appreciate the opportunity, and like I said, just y'all's generosity in being here.
We'll be right back after this short break.
Hi, I'm Kurt Schilling.
I'm Shonda Schilling for the ALS Association.
ALS, or Lou Gehrig's disease, is a devastating illness that robs patients of the simple joy of playing with their kids. It destroys their ability to speak, walk, and breathe.
But there is hope. The ALS Association offers the most comprehensive patient services and leads the field in research. Please join us in lighting the way for a treatment and a cure.
For more information about ALS and the ALS Association, visit us online.
A message from Major League Baseball.